What is going on, everybody? Stubbs here from Retro Handhelds, joined by my co-host, Mr. Ban himself.
Hello.
Happy holidays, sir. I like
Happy
Christmas
holidays.
tree. Once again. So today we are rocking it with the first look here of the new Anbernic RG477V, a brand new vertical from Anbernic. This is coming in with a Dimensity 8300 chipset, which is their most powerful chip they offer in their lineup. So we've seen this previously in the 557 and the 477M, as well as Ban. Am I forgetting one? I feel like I always forget one.
The 557 and the 477M, I believe, are the only two.
That's what we got for now. So I wasn't a huge fan of the 405V or the 406V. Sure, the power was there, but the ergonomics was kind of funky as far as with the ergonomic bump out to me. I didn't love that. And so I've been playing on this one today. I got it earlier today. And I got to say, man, it is way more comfortable than I expected. Having the flat back really should have been the move all along here. You do get the sloped ergonomics along the back there. And it's an all-glass front, which is questionable, but you do get these light-up sticks. And for the first time, we have light-up start and select, which is interesting. Quiet buttons there. Those are brand new.
That's a little bit weird.
Right? Yeah. Well, let's take a look. Now, I've already, as you can see, unboxed this, but I'll show you what was in the box. And also, my camera is flipped, isn't it?
No? It looks normal to me.
Oh, it looks normal. Okay, cool.
Everything's just going all over the place today.
Okay. Okay. So, usual box, cord, and that's it. Put together my own SD card today. Didn't use anything that they might have sent. Just ripped out all their emulators too, and I put this my favorite game on here, Twisted Metal, Sweet Tooth, as the background because why not? We do have active cooling on here, and if you're looking for accessories, they do have this case which you can pick up, and it fits. I'm about to say the word thusly again, Ban. Third time this week. It fits thusly.
Is it a better case though than the last one?
Nice felt. No, I mean it's a cheapo case for sure, but it fits it, and it's nice, tight, snug fit. Okay, there you go. Very good.
All right.
Now, I've been loading on different games on here, and we're going to take a look today at a few of them. Let's see. We got Zenless Zone Zero we'll take a look at as far as Android goes, Hot Lap League.
A classic.
And then on the emulation side, we're mainly going to focus on, I want to look at Switch, a little bit of Gamehub, some higher end stuff, to kind of see what we're looking at there. And then I tested streaming already, but through Artemis, once I set it to 120 hertz, which the screen does go up to, I got the decode times down to 6 milliseconds, which in the grand scheme of things is still going to be usable and playable, but it's not the best. It's not like what you see from one of those newer Snapdragon chipsets. So I think for streaming, you're going to be better suited there. But yeah, it definitely is playable, and GeForce Now as well. We'll take a look at that. But we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. That's just a little bit of a preview. Let's take a look and overview at the device itself. Producer Sony is here to help us today. You want to hop on over to the website, and we'll take a look at the specs together. So this is coming in with a 4.7-inch 1280 by 960 screen, 120 hertz. This is the same LTPS panel that we saw in the 476H that we've seen in the 477M, as well as the RG Slide, and as well as the RGDS.
So
no.
Yes.
Yes. I was like,
no.
Yes.
Oh, the DS? No.
The RGDS.
No. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, hold on. A Dimensity 8300, and this has two builds, an 8 gig and a 12 gig variant. This is the 12 gigabyte we have in the studio today, which has 256 gigabytes of internal storage. The 8 gig comes with 128 gigabytes of internal, plus you have a micro SD card. I put a 2 terabyte in here before prices started to go up. I went ahead and picked that up on Black Friday. Battery is a 5300 milliamp hour in here, but it's better than that because it's shipped with, I believe it says, no, it's teeny tiny writing. Let me flip back to the handheld.
Oh.
5500 milliamp hours. So they've updated that a little bit since their initial spec reveal, it looks like.
I mean, honestly, that's not bad.
Right? Yeah, it's not too bad for the battery. And so far, battery life today, since this morning when I got this, has been pretty dang solid. So this is rocking Android 14 as well. And yeah, if we take a look over on the website, they don't have this up on Anbernic.com yet. This is not quite ready. We're, I think, perhaps the first to have this, to make this video here, but it'll be available very soon. We'll let you know details as soon as we know. If we want to speculate on pricing, the 477M hovers around the $250 to $300 price point right now, but that was metal, and they always upcharge for the metal variants. So we could kind of guess that we're going to be looking at maybe $200 to $250 for early bird pricing. And yeah, here's a look at their promo video showing what it can do. The other thing that's interesting is that on this handheld, they've done something new with the sound. They put a built-in high-quality DSP in it, and there's an option to enable and disable the DSP, meaning when you plug in headphones, it's going to sound great, and I tested that, and it does. The built-in speakers, not as much. They're down-firing, and they're not the best speakers that I've heard, but the quality is there in the processing for the handheld. So they got that right, but you're really going to need to use headphones to get the most out of this thing. The sticks are kind of a raised, they're Hall sticks, and they have really nice range of motion. There's no joystick grind as you move them around. And the D-pad is brand new. If you want to take a look at that, that is a mushy rubber membrane D-pad, brand new. I haven't seen this in any of their other handhelds as far as I can tell. It's similar. It's very similar to the RG557 D-pad, though. That's like the closest, but there's a slight pivot difference, but the design is very similar. And I believe it's the 557 face buttons as well, and from the 477M.
Yeah, I was going to say they've been using the same face buttons for a lot of their handhelds this year.
But it's near identical to the 557 D-pad. And yeah, the face buttons as well. Mushy rubber membrane. They feel good. And let's take a look at that and do some ASMR. And you do get kind of light, clicky back buttons. Very quiet face buttons. And these Start and Select are brand new. They're quite clicky, and I haven't seen this before. And then you get their function button there and the RG launcher. Or if you long hold this, it'll take you to the home screen. Power button, volume up, volume down. Along the top, we get a fan exhaust, USB-C, and fan intake there, ribbed for your pleasure. On the back, there's no bump out this time like the 405 and the 406V. 3.5 headphone on the bottom, and then those two down-firing speakers like we were talking about before. You do get your SD card on the left there, and that 4.7-inch screen with minimal bezels. I like to see that. There's two colorways. There is this and the black colorway. It's not OLED, so I might recommend the black if you really want to not see a bezel. I think that blends together just a bit better. And yeah, it's kind of a look at the device. It feels good in the hands, too. I have got to say.
I know that when everyone saw it, we saw the flat back and weren't sure if that was going to be any good. But maybe just the fact that it's a bit wider thanks to that screen is definitely helping.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and you get the shelf here, which I appreciate for L2R2, L1R1. And yeah, the ergonomics are just a lot better doing it this way. They should have done this all along. And I'm noticing, like, playing shooters and stuff, like, this is not bad how they have it set up. I was being asked earlier today by Discord user Blob in our Discord saying, do you like this or the 476H better? And I immediately said 476H, I always prefer a horizontal. These verticals with sticks never really do it for me. And I didn't end up keeping the 405 or the 406 long term. I ordered another 406, so I'd have it ready for you guys for the podcast tomorrow to kind of do a comparison with that. But yeah, it's not like their older verticals. It's kind of a new thing. I guess the closest I could think of maybe would be the 40XXV, but this isn't as wide, so it's also not really a like for like idea there. But I guess this is the most similar. They also had way back in the day. Remember that vertical from the RK3326 line, I believe it was? What was
The
that?
RG351V.
Yeah, old school. Kind of reminds me of those ergonomics a bit.
Which I can see. That one also was more of like an actual Game Boy styled handheld where it just had the fully flattened back.
Yeah, and then the 353V as well. Kind of a similar feel to that, but this ergonomics was not very good because of just how slim this is. It kind of feels awkward to use these sticks. And so again, this isn't one I used long term. Here's not that one. Nope. There. Watch Zoo's video. ILPC makes this R36T. You don't want that.
He even left it on.
Yeah, right. On the, well, I was considering, I was like, should we compare this? No, we shouldn't, but I showed it anyways. On the cheapest end for their vertical line, the 35XX Pro, which has been voted by our community as the best budget vertical of the year. And so this has the H700 in it. And the ergonomics are even better than this. So, I mean, it's a huge handheld, right? Like, this is a chunker for sure. But because it's so big, it just happens to finally make this idea comfortable, which I was not expecting at all. This showed up today and I said, oh no, okay, all right, here we go. Anbernic did another vertical. Okay, let's go put it through its paces. And then I held it and I'm like, oh, okay, they gave us a good one. I thought we were going to end the year on the freaking RGDS, which is starting to get a bit better, sure, but it was not a climactic end of the year for Anbernic. And we might be actually looking at a solid handheld option. Because how many other Android verticals are out there to compare this to besides the 406 and the 405V? You have the Ioneo Pocket DMG, which also I didn't prefer. I didn't like that very much. It's high end and it's powerful, but it just didn't feel comfortable to me. I didn't like using it. The buttons didn't feel very good. And then the next closest one I would say is this Retroid Pocket Classic, which is a wonderful handheld, but it is mostly focusing on that Game Boy experience with no sticks. Although it's plenty powerful and it can do quite a bit. You know, these are kind of the closest I can compare it to. And then power-wise, yeah, really, you're looking at the 477M with that same screen.
If yours isn't dead.
Well, I charged a few, except for that one. It's like I charged a few of these. RG Slide, although this has was the T820 in it.
Yep.
But here's a look, at least at a comparison size-wise. There you go.
So I was curious, how thick is the 477M against it?
The 477M, it's very similar at the top, but yeah, the bump out is more. How big was the battery in this? 5,300 milliamp hours. So this actually bests the 477M for battery life.
Yeah. They were probably going to originally use the 5,300 milliamp hour battery that was in the 477M.
Here's a look for you. The Trim UI brick, which is my favorite budget vertical personally.
It's better than trying to put that next to a Miu Mini.
Look at that. Yeah, I almost pulled that out too. And I'm like, all right, we got a limit. You can't compare it to everything in the entire collection.
Ah, that's a shame.
And this DMG colorway is not bad. I think it's a little bit ugly myself. I'm getting a little tired of the DMG look, but I think the black one looks sleek. So I'd be interested to try that one out. Looking at some weight comparisons, though, while we're talking about this stuff. This is coming in at a honkin' 340 grams compared to the Retroid Pocket Classic at 225. The 477M is probably going to take the cake here at, oh, actually, no. At what, 358?
Yeah. Oh,
No, it
it's
does.
close.
So 340, 358. It does, yeah. RG Slide, 379. Well, that's the big winner. And Anbernic's best vertical before this, in my opinion, even though power-wise it doesn't match up with the H700 in here, but this is my favorite vertical otherwise from them. 217 grams. And here's maybe a Trim UI brick, 158. XX Pro, 193. So decently hefty, but it doesn't feel that heavy in the hands. People might also be wondering, does video outwork on this? And we're going to test that out together. That's something I haven't tried.
That's something I'd actually be curious about.
Let's turn it back on. Yeah, HDMI out, Rywalker. We're going to find out together. These are the Luma Ultras from Vitcher. Got these recently. Should have more content coming out about these, but they are a lot of fun. I was playing Hot Lap League last night with my AYN Thor. And yeah, these come in clutch. Very good. Very good.
Ooh. Big Garza said he only has a Thor. Do you have can you put it up to the 477V?
Oh, you want to see the Thor versus it?
That's
There
what
you
he
go.
wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they're not exactly that far off.
So that's kind of an idea.
Oh.
Again, not an OLED screen, but it's a damn fine. The LTPS IPS display they have in here, or LCD LTPS, whatever you want to call it, it's not OLED. But the colors are vibrant enough. And if you want OLED, well, all these dang AR, XR glasses have OLED. So it'll give you an OLED screen. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to look super cool, Ban.
Oh my god.
Oh, it works. It works.
Okay, video outworks.
Video outworks. It's square. So I wonder if we could adjust it to force it to be widescreen, but maybe that's okay. But as it is, it just mirrors it. So it is the square, full resolution, and it is beautiful. It, you guys can't see this very well, but thank you for knocking off my glasses.
Oh, I can.
You can kind of see Sweet Tooth's truck. There you go. There's Sweet Tooth. You can see
That's all we need to see.
So yeah, it works. It looks good though. So okay, nice.
You know what? That's all we needed, really.
It did leave the screen on by default too, so it didn't disable the handheld screen. And let's see if there's any options in here to get my prescription lens out of here. Let's see if there's any options to adjust that.
Let's see. It might not be.
No, not for external right now. And that tends to be the case with a lot of these Anbernics. Their OS build is just usually not that. It's just not much to it. It goes from bad to okay. And this is one of their ones that is okay. It's not great. It can probably do with some Gamma OS to give us all the extra options, better battery life. But come built in, we do have some options here I want to show you all, including the fact that you can change it from 60 hertz to 90 hertz to 120 hertz. Leave it in 120 hertz mode if you want it to automatically select the best refresh rate for each application that might be running or game. So that's how we're going to leave it today. You do get nightlight options. As far as colors, a lot of Android builds, you can go ahead and further adjust colors and make them more saturated or not. This gives you no options. They've removed that from here. So they said, this is how we're tuning this panel, and you're going to like it. So Gamma OS maybe can help us get that back. Other options here is this high CPU mode, which I leave on anyways. It's kind of tough to tell whether that ever does anything. And it's kind of per handheld whether they seem to make use of that. Fan settings, you got auto, cool, and strong. And the fan gets just as loud as the 477M if you have one of those, but not as high-pitched and whiny, which I really appreciate.
Which I think kind of came down to the positioning against the grates on the back.
Right. Yeah. Which, okay, there you go. Now, you do get the controls for the LEDs around here. You can mess with them as you will, but there's something new in here also. This thing that's called panel light is actually controls for the select and start, because now they're doing LED lighting on the select and start wording there. So you can change that from always bright, manual, or always off. So I'm like, okay, cool, we'll leave it on. That will drain battery life a little bit, but it's kind of neat looking unless you're playing in bed next to your partner at night or whoever. And then you might want to turn these lights off. Speaking of playing in bed, it gets real dang bright if you want for when you're out in the sun, but when you're in bed, you can get very dim, which I appreciate. Very, very dim. In Android, you also usually have the option of going extra dim, which this does not have that option. So do take note of that, but it gets plenty dim for you. And you can do screen rotation and let's get that down. All that stuff.
So it's a lot of the same Android standard affair that we hope usually gets a few fixes over time.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any OTAs out of the box?
No OTAs. Yeah, I checked the photo update in there.
Okay.
And nothing there.
Usually they wait until after people start getting them and finding the problems, but the RGDS was a little bit different.
Right, exactly. So far there's no gotchas or issues I've run into. It's just like they knew how to build the 476H. That was a great handheld. They knew how to build the 477M. This is a great handheld. And they just took that design language, moved it over to a vertical form factor, and called it a day. And they've accomplished that. Like, this is the same quality as those handhelds. This is the 476H with a much better chipset as a vertical. That's what this is, pretty much. And so if you have no complaints there, then I don't know that you're going to have complaints here. It's just like, and again, they were asking me in Discord, do I prefer this or the 476H? And I've said the 476H, but as I'm using this today, since saying that, I'm like, this is just as comfortable as the 476H, even as a vertical, because it's so wide. And it just kind of, it feels like I'm just playing on a controller, like a console controller with how they have it set up. It's about that feeling, like a smaller console controller, like the Switch Pro controller or something like that. Like that's about the size, or maybe a smaller GameSir controller. And yeah, the triggers are digital, I believe, Vetty. Yes, I believe so. We do have an all-glass front, which is definitely a choice. Don't prefer that, but it's there nonetheless. It does look premium. It collects all kinds of reflections, and on the black model, I'm sure it collects all kinds of fingerprints. But on this one, I don't really see them. I've been touching this thing all day. That's what she said. And this is just kind of solid. That's all I can really say, is that it's damn solid. The D-pad feels nice. Again, the pivot feels like the 557. I think it might be the same D-pad, but there's just a slight difference. Like this is loose. Okay, no, this is for sure looser. But I think it's the same plastic piece, but the actual pivot and everything is looser on the 557. So this is improved. This is a nice tighter response, which I do appreciate. As we're looking at some other things to talk about, let's see what I got on my agenda today. Right. Yeah, finish and feel. So the shell front, like we said, it was glass. The rest of it is the nice matte plastic, which feels good in the hands. It's not glossy. It's not getting sweaty. The handheld doesn't get hot, really, as long as you have that fan going, which set to auto is good. And if you want to hear what that fan sounds like on full mode, let's just take a listen together. So that's full blast.
Yeah, that's absolutely lower pitched than
Lower,
the
it is.
477M.
Yeah, it's a lower pitched fan. Here's the cool mode, which is the quiet fan. And I just leave it in auto. And even from the strongest testing I've done today, the handheld isn't getting warm down here. It gets warm in this section where you're not holding it. Good.
And there's the slap.
Yeah, and there's the slap.
Oh, that last one was good.
Yeah. Anbernic has done something good here. I wonder if they purposely put the RGDS knowing how it's gonna be received, and they're like, hold on. Don't worry, we got a banger to finish off the year. All right. You do get Bluetooth in here, so you can pair other controllers, you can pair headphones. And let's just hop right into something. So GeForce Now for streaming, like I said, Artemis and Moonlight looking good at about a 6 millisecond decode time. If you set the screen at 60 hertz, you're going to get a 7 millisecond decode time, 120 hertz, 6 second, as low as 5.5, but the average is about 6. No, Gunfire. That's my game.
Don't wear it out.
Don't wear it out. There you go. Alrighty then. Sleep on this is the same as their 477M build. I was able to put it to sleep while I was getting ready for the stream, and I woke it back up. It hadn't lost any battery life. That was probably about 30 to 40 minutes there. I'll have to report back. Zoo from Zoo Reviews will be here with a full dedicated first look video with his findings later this week. He should get his in by Tuesday. And the whole crew is getting them. So we're going to do a game testing live stream. Today is just a very quick overview of my couple hours with the device so I can explain to you, is it worth buying? Is it decent? No, it's not on sale yet. Yes, I think it's worth buying, but at what price point? Again, $300. I think that's going to be really tough since you have more powerful handhelds like the Pocket DMG with its Snapdragon chipset in it. Where it's going to just give you more for your money, probably. But man, it feels good. And if we can get around $200 to $250, I think this is a buy. Screen quality is good. Brightness good. Refresh rate is good. We actually do have, we'll load refresh rate once we're done with this game. So.
Does that take? Oh, there it goes.
I don't know why it's switching to mouse mode here.
I was going to say.
Sometimes in GeForce Now, the controls don't always go through. So there is the... In 60 FPS is what it's going for here. Got a 4 millisecond ping to my local server. The controls are not working, though. And I've seen this on a number of handhelds where it's not sending them through. Sometimes you have to mess with them, go in the settings, change it from, reporting as a Nintendo Switch controller, which is the default here, to the Xbox style. So let's see. Nope. So you could, okay, this is dumb, but you could map the keys and make them work that way. But by default, no. It appears for GeForce Now, once again, another handheld that is not reporting the controller through to the software. Okay. Controls were working, though, through Artemis. So local streaming once again wins. Okay.
I mean, I would have said that anyways.
For those of you who are wondering what the speakers sound like, I'll just let you hear for yourself. I can hear the higher quality as far as just very defined sound, but this body doesn't have a lot to, reverberate throughout. So it's kind of a mid. I'd say it's like a mid sound.
Not great, not bad.
Great highs, decent mids, lows, Wrong button.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's professionalism here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ban.
Oh, I'm happy to help.
Let's turn the speakers up. But you're going to hear with your own ears and let me know what you think.
So we have someone wanting to know if there's any change in sound quality if you cup your hands under it.
Yeah, it's going to focus the sound more. Definitely.
Okay.
I mean,
but it looks like it's going to be more uncomfortable too.
It will be, yeah. I probably wouldn't play like that. Power sliding all over the place here.
Oh, just blame the comments.
Yeah. Dang it, comments! No, thank you for the comments. Also, live chat. Hope you're all doing well today. Happy Sunday. Random live stream. We got the podcast tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. We're going to talk more about this as the more the team gets this in their hands. So yeah, there's the speakers. Pretty dang solid. Not my favorite. And if you want to see where that option is, they do have that just in the sound options here. There's this new option called sound enhancement, and they have this hi-fi DSP mode. So that's new.
That's really, honestly, that's kind of a nice inclusion when you consider some companies are like not giving you a headphone jack half the time.
Right. So you can use this as a DAP. I mean, that's what it's got to be for, because I plugged in my my in-ears earlier and was listening to Hot Lap League, and the difference is stark between these speakers and the headphone jack. I'm like, okay, that sounds awesome. Like, you could carry this around if you want as your big old MP3 player. It's a big old iPod.
It's got to be bigger than like a Zune. It's got to be bigger than a lot of MP3 players.
The previous Anbernic winner is either the RG Nano, I would say, or the RG Slide. Both also work pretty well for that function. But yeah, this one actually has this higher quality DSP in it. So neat. If you want to know if it plays Zenless Zone Zero, because the Dimensity 8300 is awesome, and it is, while you can't get your custom, turnip drivers and all that, it is a very high performing chip, and it's compatible with a number of games. Unfortunately, one game it's not compatible with is Red Dead Redemption. I did try that. The Netflix version on Android does not work. Prince of Persia Lost Crown does work. Zenless Zone Zero here does work.
Oh, that's like perfect timing. Someone just mentioned asking about if it worked with Red Dead Redemption.
It does not. That's the first thing I loaded on here. I was
like,
Red, because I think the performance would be there, but
does it like boot up and crash, or did it just like?
I'll show you. I have it installed still, so we can look together.
Because the person who was asking mentioned that like textures were just messed up. So I was just kind of curious if that changed anything.
Let me change this back. I'm thrown off now. To switch mode. Okay. There we go. Yes. So I have all settings on here maxed out at the highest possible settings for Zenless.
Man, that really does look good on that screen.
And it's smooth. Yeah, the screen is gorgeous. Viewing angles are pretty solid too. Not too bad. I mean, this is just a good screen, so I get why they keep reusing it.
Yeah.
And the processor, again, holds its own. If we want to look at benchmarks, I haven't benchmarked this exact handheld, but Zoo and Ban and I and the rest have put in work over time on all their other D8300s to give you an idea. And so we're looking at a Geekbench 6 single core at 1450, Geekbench 6 multi-core at 4500, Geekbench 6 Vulkan GPU at 7598, and a 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme at 2696. And that's from the 557. Also, in addition, we have from Zoo, he got better results than Ban on this one. And do you want to qualify that, Ban, and explain what that's about?
So the scores that were originally from me and our benchmarking was from the original release of the RG557. Since that time, there had been a couple of OTA updates that helped improve performance and made it so that the high performance mode actually did something. And that's where Zoo's scores came in. For example, the Vulkan benchmark score went up to 9721, whereas where did it go? Yeah, if you could see that on the original release, it was only 7598.
So so he got a better outcome there. So we might get an even better outcome here, not only because it has the chip, but we do get the 12 gigabytes of RAM, which I know we've seen in other 8300s, sure. But this might pull a little further ahead. I don't know. We'll have to see in a true benchmark on this device. Also, here's some other things about this chipset. Wi-Fi 6E. We have that Mali G615 inside of it. Bluetooth is at 5.3. Joysticks are Hall. Oh, yeah, and I did test out charging. Charging does get to 27 watts. I saw it fluctuate from 25 watts up to 27, depending on the cable I used. So if I used a very high-quality cable, yes, it can pull up to 27 watts. And yeah, 5,500 milliamp hour batteries, absolutely. For that battery life, they say up to 8 hours. So far, it's been doing well today. Where am I at now? 91%. We started the stream at about 93, 94% maybe. It sips on battery life. That's just one of the efficiencies you get with this Dimensity chipset. So a lot of their handhelds with this chip do well, especially once we get custom firmware like Gamma OS. And we're going to launch CPU float here so you can get a decent idea inside Zenless. I was trying to get the frame counter going, but it's not liking me. But here's a look at what the CPU is doing.
So what is that?
So all 7 cores are activated. We got 2200, and then on the littles, on the bigs, we got 3200, and then CPU 7's at 3350. Temp inside, we're looking at 71, and physical temperature from the outside, (33.7 Celsius on the screen, 25 on the body. This is why it doesn't feel hot in your hands, is 28 degrees Celsius on the body there. And then where it's going to get hot, we got 32. So even on its hottest point, even if you were to play holding the top of the handheld, that's not going to be that uncomfortable.
It's mostly just in the screen, it seems. The
just
heat.
The screen. Yeah, that's the main thing. The screen does get pretty warm there when you start to push it. So we get as high as about 34 or so. But yeah, I always get bothered when a handheld gets unnecessarily hot. I'm like, come on, really? We could have worked on thermals. Like Anbernic's last handheld last month when they gave us the RGDS, which just directly has the stupid thing, the CPU right against the shell, and you're just going to feel all the heat, and it is just dumb. It's just dumb why this had to be hot. It could have been so much better. This handheld could have been so much better. Anbernic, why? Why? You had this? You were loading this? Are these two different design teams, like, entirely, I wonder? You have this, and then you have this. This is the Anbernic Handheld of 2025 we have at home. Although, yes, it's getting better. Thank you, Gamma. And then they implemented Gamma's fix in stock OS, which let us fix the desync issue, which is thankful. And the price, sure, this thing is getting better, but it's still warm. It's still hot. So whether we need to internally mod that, I don't know. But this does not have that, and I appreciate that. Rant over.
Honestly, it's good to get the rants out, especially on stuff like that.
Now that we have that out of the way, you guys want to take a look at some emulation?
Well, yeah.
What are we thinking? What do you want to see?
How's the you said we are doing higher end
Gamehub?
stuff.
Yeah,
let's
so we
go
just hop
Gamehub.
right into Gamehub.
You got Silk Song?
Yeah, Gamehub's been a little funky on me today. I've been trying all day for it to do its thing. I reinstalled it. I couldn't get it to download firmware for Metal Gear Rising, which is normally a game that I could get to run on these Androids around this PowerPoint. So I'm going to give it one more shot. Sometimes it just takes a couple tries, or you have to change over what Proton version you're using. Rad Forger, thank you for the super chat. Anbernic likes to troll. How many of these did they release within a week of me making a joke about it? Yeah, right? We were just saying on the podcast last week, we're going to see this in hands within days from now. And that was what? Just a couple days ago.
Yeah, that was last Monday. So not even a week later, you've already got it in your hands.
What's my FPS in Tears of the Kingdom? Yeah, so I don't have Tears of the Kingdom loaded on here. Sorry to say, Mr. Michael Benny. So I only loaded a couple games on today because I lost my 2 terabyte SD card. I had to buy a new one, build a new one. Sad story, boohoo. But I only had time to load on just a couple key games. So we're not going to be taking audience requests for games today. So stay tuned for our game testing dedicated live stream with Rob and everybody, where we are going to take game requests and then go through all that stuff. Today, again, quick, rapid fire. Here's what the device is. Here's what it can do. See you later. Help you inform your decision when this goes up for sale. And yeah, so that's not working. I also tried Hades 2, and this one I couldn't get to launch. And we get a little error there. So might need to do some further, what does that say? Teeny tiny text. Might need to do some further tweaking to the settings, render error. But the third game I loaded on was Silksong, and I've never had this game fail on any of these handhelds. So let's see if we can at least get the baseline of Silksong today. I know, Skull's Playlist, the 2 terabyte cards are crazy expensive, and they're only getting more expensive due to the RAM domino effect that's happened from Micron. So we're seeing prices go up. So get your micro SD cards sooner than later if you need memory or storage. RAM, you're already too late. You missed the boat on that. But storage, as of today, maybe you still have a chance if you need to get something. But it's going to be might be a tough year ahead for pricing for all kinds of computer components like that. So yeah, make do with what you got if you can. I'm glad I bought a 2 terabyte. I did not intend to lose my first one, but that happens sometimes. Okay, so Silksong, yes, we're looking good. We're running that at 60 FPS, and I'm going to try 120 to make use of this screen. One funny thing about this, and I'm sure we can mess with the settings to make this not be all effed up, but you're going to notice that instead of doing a little bezel above and below, it's just all bezel. It's like, oops, all bezel, just on the bottom.
Ooh.
Which on a game like Silksong, it's hard to notice right now, right?
Yeah, when the entire bottom is
When the bottom's
one
black.
color.
So but the colors on this screen, they're always blowing me away. I'm always like, is that an OLED or not? But it's not. It's not even a micro LED. It's just a very good LTPS. So let's up the ante on this.
Yeah, I was going to say. Seems like it's handling it fine so far.
So let's do, 720. Let's do 720, 120 hertz. VSync on, borderless. Screen scale. Can we maybe fix it there? No. Advanced. Particle effects. Normal. Dithering. Film grain. Off. Blur quality high. Okay, let's see if we can pull 120.
Seems like a solid 60.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got 120 hertz. It's not going up to that. So let's go into the settings here. Oh, we have a frame limiter on.
Oh, yeah.
So let's put that up to 120. And we're going. We're off to the races. 96, 100, 97.
So it seems to be kind of
95.
maxing out around that 95 range for Silk
Oh,
Song.
no. We should... I've seen this chipset get to 120. No.
Which performance mode are you on?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, I was even talking about for the handheld itself.
Oh, yeah. I'm leaving high performance on for this.
Okay.
Native rendering sometimes helps. So let's do an auto for that. Let's get rid of the frame limit at all. Let's go ahead and turn off things like high quality blur. We don't need that. Particles, I think we can go low on that. I probably did this before to get this to 120. And VSync, let's just go ahead and turn that off. Oh, it says no. It says we want this on. Okay. Let's see what we do now. 100? 102? Okay, we're making progress. We're making progress, guys. 106? 99?
And back to 100. I was going to say, the thing is, though, is that if it's holding a solid, like, 90 to 100, it's still going to look a lot better. Or it's going to feel a lot better than a standard 60. Oh, my gosh.
We got to 103 is the best we could do. Wait, 111.
You saw 111?
That can be better. I've seen that get better. I think it was the 477M stream. All right, here, look at that bezel. What it's doing. It's just like you're going to have bezel down there. It's a black pit of bezel.
I guess they just want you to look as far up as they can.
Bro, play PS2. All right, bro. Let's do it.
So we can look at GameCube next, right?
We're doing GameCube next.
All right.
No, we'll do a little PS2. I loaded 2 games on today. God of War 2 and Jak 3. Let's go.
But which one do you like more?
God of War.
Fair enough, fair enough.
And we don't need the touchscreen, but we do want frame counter. All right. Oh, and right, what upscale are we at right now? OpenGL, let's switch that to Vulkan. And from native, I think let's go straight to a 2.5x. So that's going to be about 1080p. I'd like to see that hit 100% speed. Looking good so far, but there's no action on the screen.
Well, let's get into it then.
Derek, 4X. Yeah, I feel like the this chipset can do that okay. On this game, I was a little hesitant to go straight for it, but let's go straight to the 4X. This is on the latest version of Nether SX2 version 2, the very latest build from, I think, in the last month or two here. It's the beta build. It's like 2.2B, something like that. Can you all see that okay? I'm sure the YouTube compression algorithm is really blurring it for you, but is that 100%, 60 FPS?
Oh, so it's not doing too bad there.
No, we're doing 4X and God of War 2, which is great. It's very much getting warm right there, but not in the body too much. It's getting a little warm right there now. Okay, so we're pushing. I can feel we're pushing it. The fan, I'm going to purposely put on strongest because the auto mode did not kick in where I wanted it to.
And
you get that nice long God of War intro.
It's everyone's favorite, right?
Yeah, I like this one. God of War 2 is an awesome intro, though.
Yeah, I can see it.
4.7-inch hard. It is pretty hard. Yeah, it does get pretty hard here. But yeah, 4.7 inches, it's a lot to work with.
All right.
Yeah, it gives you plenty of viewing space. It doesn't bother your eyes. And yeah, it's straight, hard, flat screen. Wait a minute. I think he was making an innuendo.
Oh.
Dang it. Got me again.
No. He's just asking
this
you.
This is
a
family podcast.
Yeah, that's why you were answering his question. 4.7-inch screen, you know?
Okay. Star, we got some questions. Where do you see that new vert? You know it, Nerdy by example. Get the 40XXV out. I'm going to pull my V out and show you the 40XXV. Here you go. In fact, I had it on earlier.
Ooh, is it dead now?
I had all my handhelds turned on so we can do some screen comparisons, but I think I left it on for so many hours that it now is dead. Oh, well.
Yeah, and it's always going to take a little bit to get them charged back up.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But a similar screen. Not the same, of course, but there's an IPS, the standard Anbernic IPS in the 35XX Pro or the G350, whatever you want to say there. Okay, can we play? Okay, we can play.
Maybe. Yes.
Maybe. Yay, we can play. Okay, and now we are hitting some slowdown, which makes sense because we're doing stuff in the game. Okay, niche question. Could you try testing the face buttons and pressing them lightly to see if they register? The 557 had the issue where they wouldn't register. How heavy is it? So we looked at heaviness earlier. It was what, 358 grams, 48 grams?
Yeah.
$340 grams.
Oh.
Any of the face buttons? Sure. Let me do that so I don't die. You want to see? We'll come back to this game. You want to see gamepad? Press them lightly. You said. Okay, we're pressing them super light.
I mean, looks like they're activating regardless of how hard you're pressing them.
Yeah, and dead zones were looking good too. Yep, usual Anbernic Hall joysticks there. And you can pull these out if you want and put in, would you believe it? You could put in hype sticks.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Get a nice old big one in there.
I do wonder what'll end up being like the best size of those for everybody.
Comfortable. And you might be wondering, can you pocket this? Because you can get some low-profile hype sticks if you really want and not have a protrusion happening like this. Look at this. Okay. Good question. Good question.
Oh. Everything's shaking up.
I'm about to show you my cool Christmas sweats.
And away. Oh, and he's gone again. Though I'm not really surprised. He's just really good at disappearing. Oh no.
And you can use it as a drumstick.
Please don't.
It does pocket, but it doesn't It does catch, the sticks catch little, so if you can get low profile, that'd be even better. But no, I mean, it pockets fine.
Oh gosh.
Professional podcast. Okay.
Yeah, but I think you got to put them in the Janko jeans.
Yeah, I don't have the Jenkos on today, but these will definitely fit in those. I do have a pair of Jenko jeans, knockoff, Amazon special. I also wanted to show you the VSync tester. So you can get a report on that panel. And you're getting just about a clean 60 hertz there. In RetroArch, it shows it going up to 120 hertz. That's what it reports natively. But again, since it has an automatic switcher inside of it, when I'm launching Chrome, it defaults to 60. When I launch RetroArch, it's defaulting to 120. So you could do things like black frame insertion.
Which everyone needs.
I wish I could tell it, though. I wish I could tell it to be at 120 hertz all the time. So make sure that we're doing that throughout all the apps. You can only tell it 60 or 90 for whatever reason. You can't force it to be 120. So the app has to be compatible. And the app has to request that it wants that. So
That's
interesting.
Weird.
Back to the game. So yeah, 4x is about the limit here. I'd probably put this at a 3x to have a consistent 60. Because what are we at now? At 4x, we're hitting about 55 frames on average. So, okay. Let's do 3. And we're still having a tough time there. So let's do 2.5. This is a demanding game. Looks like that's going to be where you want to settle at for this game. It's dipping a little bit, but very slight. Okay. Jack 3 was the other one. We're still at the same upscale.
Something a little bit lighter.
Radford cargo pants short superiority. Yes, I think this is a good cargo pants handheld. Netflix says Anbernic said the RAM problems right now are affecting them at all in the new handhelds like this releasing. I mean, that's where I'm wondering about the pricing. I'm wondering if we're going to be able to hit that lower $200-ish price point with the RAM stuff. There is the 8 gig model and the 12 gig. This is the 12 gig model we have here today. 12 gig is preferred if you're going to do things like Gamehub and Switch, but 8 gigs is really going to be okay up to 3DS, PS2, GameCube. Totally fine. And even Switch, really, if you're not going to be pushing it. And since this isn't a handheld you can even do custom drivers with, I wouldn't say it's a Switch handheld anyways. Nice panel, though. And yeah, we're hitting 60 okay in Jack 3 there. I don't think we can skip ahead in that intro movie. We need to end the stream in a few minutes here, so I'm going to go ahead and skip straight to Switch.
All right.
And stay tuned for the game testing live stream where we are going to look at a bunch of games on here. Sorry, today we don't really have time for it. But before Switch, there is something that we do have time for, something we like to do in a lot of these streams. And it's...
oh, no. Oh, no.
It's one of the tougher, demanding games, of course. It's actually Aardvark for Game Boy Color.
Oh, gosh.
Now, in Aardvark, you are a Aardvark who has a nose that is so hungry, and you're just trying to get the eggs. You just want those eggs.
Can you get enough eggs, Stubbs?
And there's no PWM. Look at your hungry nose. Oh, let the sausage thing go by. Oh, it's going to get... Oh, we're good. Oh, no.
Oh, you're losing your eggs.
Oh, losing eggs. Okay. Oh, phew. Okay. We're good. No, we don't need that. And then if we'll rapid fire through these real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116 I wanted to show you one 3DS game. Oh, right. And we were talking about Netflix. That reminds me, Red Dead. Yeah, so many things to show. Never enough time.
Well, there will be enough time when we do a full game testing stream.
All right. Get your ha-has ready.
Oh.
I haven't even set up controls yet for 3DS.
Oh. Well, I don't think this is going to go too well.
This is just that native. We could upscale that, but no time. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Eden. Yeah. Let's just jump to Switch. Oh, shit. Before that, that's one. We wanted to talk Red Dead. So here's what happens with Red Dead. You launch Red Dead. Something went wrong. Sorry, we're having trouble. Please try again later. So if anyone knows that error or has seen that, MSI Legacy Crypto is the code, -1003. If you've seen this and it's fixable, then maybe it will work on here. But I got as far as that screen and I said, I don't have time for this today. I really wanted to see Hades work. So let's play Hades on Switch. This is on native resolution right now, not in docked play. Maybe we can mess with that real quick. But I'm aiming for these new 1 hour streams. I really want to hit 1 hour as close as we can.
I think we just got too distracted about halfway through.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. Yep.
And you get the long intro for Hades as well.
Nobody has time for that. Cuphead is. Cuphead it is.
Yeah, but is that going to be any quicker for you?
Oh, yeah. And Eden should auto map.
Oh, Zoo's falling asleep already. You'll get there eventually. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye. A little bit of slowdown as the shaders start to cache and all that.
Yeah.
PS3 will work on this chipset too. That's another one I want to test. Not today. And it's thinking this is the latest build of Eden from the GitHub. Or from the website, rather. There we go. Now it's happy. Okay, for tougher Switch, what do you think's the toughest of these ones? Luigi's Mansion 3 or
probably
Mario U Deluxe?
Luigi's Mansion 3, I'd
That's
say.
Fully 3D. Let's do that. Don't look, Nintendo.
Who?
Avert your eyes. I own this game somewhere.
If your uncle works at Nintendo, please look away.
Look away.
Oh,
I
don't
do
worry.
have this. I have the cart for this somewhere in this house.
Don't worry, Stubbs. I let you borrow mine.
It crashed. Doesn't like that. And that's where you run into the thing where you don't have turnip drivers and all that. You're limited with this chipset, so you can't do it. Okay, so Luigi's Mansion 3 is not happy. Mario Wonder.
That's a little bit of an easier one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it just gets you right in.
There we go. But we're going to play as Luigi. So almost the same.
Luigi's Luigi's Wonder.
A little bit too bright. Let's get right up against the camera.
At this point, you can just smell the game.
Yeah. You. Okay. All right. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I've done proper Switch emulation again, but how long does it usually take for shaders to cache on there, at least?
About a minute or so.
About
maybe.
a minute? Okay. Because I think during the introduction, at least, there's definitely a good bit of stuttering as it was building the shaders in.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I expect that for pretty much any Switch game. Especially heavier ones.
Oh, yeah. But once they're in, it's usually good to go.
Okay. So it's slowing down here, though. 51. Now we're getting back to 60. So let's just, again, give that a minute to figure its life out.
Yeah. Because if anyone isn't noticing, it's still building a lot of shaders at this time.
No, I want that. Make it. Now we're an elephant. $58.
Ooh.
Okay, we're definitely pushing it though.
Yeah, I guess maybe this was the answer.
This was the game to try. Yeah, that's good. So it's wavering. We're definitely dipping between about 48 and 60. 45 and 60.
Woo! Hey, there you go.
So it's still building shaders, right? It says building
a lot of shaders.
Building all those shaders. So maybe let's play for another minute.
Yeah.
Before we write it off as unplayable.
Yeah, because it's always something to be patient about.
This is such a fun game. This is my favorite Mario game, I think, of all time now.
I think I still have to give it to Odyssey personally, but
Odyssey's great.
Wonder is like well up there.
My family just enjoys playing it so much.
Oh, I get that. It's a wonderful game.
Yeah, Elliot's favorite, man. It's just, yeah, kiddos love this, and Dad loves it too.
That's how you know it's a good game, when it's fun for the whole family.
Oh, yes. Oh, we got it. We got the song.
Oh, this is how you know how the speakers are.
This is now we're okay. So now it's fully figured its life out, and we are now hitting 60 much more consistently. I don't see any drops. Ooh, no, I messed it up. Why? That's a sign it's time to end this dang stream. But yeah, now it's starting to run much better.
Yeah, it looks like it's sitting
Much
at
better.
60 more
Yeah.
consistently now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We could play this all day, and I
This
wish
is
we could.
I think this is one of those systems that if you want it to work right away, you should probably just set it to pre-cache your shaders.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, we try HDMI out, game testing, yes. Heat and temps, looked at that. Battery check. Oh, yeah, so what's the battery at now? We started at, what did we say, 94%. So we're ending the stream here at 74%.
Oh.
So the fan's been on strong for quite a while. And then intermittent performance usage. So,
but also pushing it as far as it'll go.
Yeah, right. So there's the two colorways, the black and the gray here. They do have the Anbernic AI if you want to use it on here. I don't use it much, but it's nice for like AI translating Japanese language to English for some of those games that don't have a translation patch, or you don't even maybe need to use one now. And it'll tell you like guides on how to play a game. It can be a little hit or miss, but I know Zoo's kind of a fan of that, so I expect him to probably test some of that in his video. And so this handheld here will play pretty much any system. It'll play from Atari all the way up to Switch, Gamehub, PS Vita, PS3, with this 4:3 aspect ratio. And it does have rumble and vibration, which feels pretty good so far. I only really noticed that in Android games where I was messing with that. It does have a gyroscope too. That's something I didn't mention before. As heat pipe active cooling, they say. The high-speed fan, which this time does not have that high-pitched whine, which I very much appreciate. Just overall, yeah, this is coming together to be a very strong handheld for Anbernic. And I think their best vertical of all time that they've made. Best as far as the most performant plus comfortable. And I guess further saying, I do prefer the Linux handhelds are always easier to pick up and play. So I do prefer things like the 40XXV, especially because you're only paying, $50, $60 for that handheld. And just an awesome handheld for Game Boy and really anything up to like N64. This is going to be for those of you who want to push it to the limit, to the max with Android. You want to tinker, you want to play up to Switch. You want to have something for streaming that's going to be great for streaming, 120 hertz screens for black frame insertion. You want to run all your shaders. You want to do pretty much whatever you want. This is going to be having the power inside of it to do those things. Its competition is going to be the iNeo Pocket DMG. It's going to be the Retroid Pocket Classic, even though there's no sticks. And it's going to be its own competition with the 406V. And if you already have that and you think that's comfortable and you like using it, maybe not a great upgrade in that sense if you really enjoy that one. Performance-wise, absolutely, but I'm guessing this is going to be more expensive than we expect, and that might throw the recommendation off. So while I do think it's the best they've made for a vertical, I don't know yet that I want to recommend it until we see that price. Okay, so more to come from us. Zoo is going to be diving in. Ban here is going to be diving in with a written article on the website. And you're going to see as well from Andrew and the whole team here as we delve into this crazy new handheld that Anbernic has released here. I think they did a great job out the gate. I'm not seeing any gotchas. There's no crazy issues or things. As other reviewers get this in hands, though, just watch all the different content. Russ from Retro Game Core. Russ is going to go in there and really tell you, okay, is this D-pad Hadoukenable? Not something I had time for today either. So while it is the same from the 557, in most regards, I would watch Russ's video as well just to see, is this really the best? Because my feeling is that it is, and I'm sure some other reviewers might agree there. Okay, everybody. Well, we're running along in the tooth, so I want to get out of here, but I want to know, what did you all think of the 477V from Anbernic? Is this one that you think looks pretty neat, pretty cool? All glass front. That's one thing that, I don't know, not for everybody. But I love that it doesn't get so hot when you're using it. It is comfortable. It's a comfortable vertical, which I appreciate. And it's just fun. It's just a handheld that is bringing joy to me, that I'm like, okay, this is fun to play on. I want to keep this in the collection as probably my only Anbernic vertical, but I'm going to compare it to the 406V tomorrow on the podcast. And yeah, let's see what they do in 2026. But if this is what they're ending 2025 with, and they're going to let pre-orders go live before the 31st of December here, then I'm going to count this, okay, as a 2025 handheld, and I'm going to say they're ending the year strong, because this can't be their swan song for the year, the RGDS. I don't know.
I don't know. Could be it for a lot of people.
But if you want to spend less money, I'm guessing this is at least $200, then look at the 40XX-V. Awesome. If you want something small, pocketable, my favorite, if you don't mind not having sticks, the Trim UI brick and the brick hammer. Oh. If you want something cheap, $25, R36T. Watch Zoo's video. If you want the in-between, sort of all-around budget ratio of performance to, value, the Retroid Pocket Classic. Awesome. And it runs Android. I don't have anything else to say. That's all I have. Well, Ban, hope you had fun hanging out for this one. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Yeah, it's no problem. Always like seeing the hot new Anbernic that's coming around.
I'm guessing yours will show up in the next few days here.
At this point, I don't know. I expect it by like Friday.
Yeah. It will, yeah. DHL versus 4PX. 4PX takes a while. If you have the option, I would go for something like DHL when you go and buy it. It'll be available on AliExpress from Anbernic.com, from the resellers and all that. But if you want it the fastest, usually AliExpress, Anbernic's shop in AliExpress, tends to be the fastest from what I've seen, even if only like 1 day faster in their shipping. And when it goes live, it also goes live on AliExpress, usually a couple of hours before the Anbernic.com listing. So, but we'll be reporting, letting you know what price it's going to be, when it's going to launch, what time it's going to launch, and we'll make sure to have links added in this video when it comes that time. All right, well, with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. Somewhere we have this thing. There it is. All right. And if you enjoy this, don't forget, we do have a subscribe button. No, you don't have to press it, but it does help us out. We're trying to get to 100K very soon here. And also a special thanks once again to our channel members, our patrons, and our subs who make everything possible for us over here. Perks with RH start for as little as $3 per month. Join us in our Discord to chat and play games. And join us on the podcast every Monday where we look at these handhelds. We talk about the latest in we do talk with Andrew. The latest in Android emulation, Linux emulation, Windows emulation, like all that stuff. All these handhelds every Monday for the news and unboxings and stuff. Yeah, until the next one, this has been Stubbs on behalf of Ban and producer Sony saying, take care of your handhelds, everybody. And Ban, you say the rest.
Take care of each other.
That's right.